Hey all, welcome. So today's pick a card reading is focused on the magical ritual that you need in your life right now. And you can come back to this at any point in the future to get some support and guidance too if you're feeling like you're in need of ritual. So this might be more like literally magical, or it might be more mundane depending on what's going on in your life. But anything can be magical, even the mundane. It's just about intention. So we have 3 groups, and I will introduce them to you in a sec, but I just want to mention that for one, this is a collective reading, so always take everything with a grain of salt, and please use your own intuition and discernment. Number 2, if you're interested in a personal reading, you can find the link in the description box. And I offer tarot, astrology, and Akashic Records readings. Number 3, go follow me on TikTok at Feeling Loudly. I post quick, daily, practically readings over there, and they're cool. Okay, so let's get into it. All right, so first up we have the Lilifer Tarot by Little Darkness, and this is a pink jasper. Group 1. For group 2, we have the Sambucus Tarot and Black Tourmaline. And group 3, we have the Wild Unknown Tarot by Kim Krans and Rose Quartz. All right, so once you've made your choice, go ahead and jump ahead to your group. I'll see you there. Hi, group 1. If you chose the Lilifer Tarot and the pink jasper, this is your reading. So I'm going to start with your anchor card, which is going to guide us into your ritual, and I'm also going to roll the astro dice to get a little bit more specific information, maybe about the area of life that needs to be in focus. So for you, we have Gemini, Mercury, and the 12th house. So the 12th house is a deeply spiritual house and part of our chart. It's where we kind of connect to the divine and the unseen. And with Gemini and Mercury, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and so there's a focus on communication. And we're currently in Mercury retrograde while I'm recording this, so this might be a significant time for you to go inward and to do some spiritual exploration. Right off the bat, before I look at your anchor, I'm getting the sense that prayer and potentially mantra could be an important ritual for you to add to your life, but also meditation, because meditation is connected to the mind. And sorry, I'm recording this outside today, so there will be some background noise. But the idea of being able to quiet the mind and come into a place of more peace and even solitude when needed is in focus here. Let's get more information. So your anchor card is the World. This is a card that represents completion and bringing a cycle to a close. So there may be something in your life that you're needing to close out and bring to completion, bring to a finish. And for some of you, this could be, again, related to the mind. Maybe it's a mental pattern that needs to be kind of put to rest, an old narrative that needs to be put to rest. For a lot of you, I feel like some type of ritual burning could be helpful, where you write down a pattern that you want to let go of and you burn it safely. You could shred it, you could cut it up into pieces, you could just throw it away. But there's something about writing that feels important here. And as I say that, we have the King of Swords in reverse coming out. And so this is an air card. The swords relate to the mind, and the King of Swords is specifically a Gemini card. So Gemini might be really significant for you. You might have strong Gemini in your chart, or there might be potentially a Gemini person that you need to release from your life, and that's part of this completion message. It's going to apply for different people in different ways. And I do want to mention that the World is related to all of the fixed signs, so Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. The King of Swords can be connected more generally to other air signs like Libra and Aquarius too. Take it how it resonates for you. But this often is a card that represents cruelty of some kind, and often verbal abuse or mental abuse. And for you, that could be something that you're doing to yourself. It could be that there's an internalized voice, maybe of someone who harmed you in the past, that has been following you around and really continuing to plague you in a way. And I think that this voice has been internalized again, and it's become the way that you speak to yourself. And that's part of what you're needing to kind of bring a ritual end to. And so again, I really recommend writing down what you want to release, maybe writing down the ideas about self that you want to release. You could do this in particular around a full moon. In the days, especially right after a full moon, are the most potent time for releasing, but also in the lead up to a new moon is also a beautiful time to release. So like the day or two before a new moon, when the moon is disappearing from the sky, from the night sky. Okay, one more little message about what my group ones, what kind of ritual is needed for them. I did just find myself glancing over at my protection oil, so maybe some type of energetic protection would be valuable for you. We have the 10 of Wands in reverse showing up, which is about sometimes not ending a cycle, not putting down a burden, something that we've been carrying for a very long time, but we're resistant to let go of it. So there is this real feeling of you maybe being resistant to letting go of a pattern, a person. It feels mostly like it's internal. It feels like this is like a pattern, a narrative that you have about yourself. Or about your relationships or your work. It's a self-limiting belief that's coming up for you over and over and over again. And you've thought like this will go away in time, or I just need to go to therapy, or I just need to like mature. And I think that some of that is probably true, but there's also a component of spirituality that can aid you in this process of healing. So use it. Use it to your advantage and allow your guides to take some of that burden from you. So I'm coming back to the idea of prayer. Prayer feels really important. Prayer to whoever you worship, whether that's a god, whether that's a goddess, whether that is nature itself, whether that's just collective and universal love, whatever speaks to you, bring some consistent prayer into your life, because I think that connecting with the divine in your unique way is exactly the type of healing that you need, and it's going to help you release these burdens that you've maybe been hanging on to for a while. I'm going to get one more card. We have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So I think that the burdens, let me see if I can get this in focus. There we go. I think that the burdens you've been feeling with these old ideas about self and all of this stuff that's coming up is also preventing you from maybe taking a step forward toward an opportunity that's in front of you. I see the Devil in reverse at the bottom of the deck. So a lot of reversals. The only upright card is the World so far, your anchor. With the Devil in reverse, it can mean that we're breaking an attachment, and that in the breaking of that attachment, we sort of reclaim our personal power. And so maybe that's significant for you too. Maybe a cord cutting is in order, maybe releasing ties that have bound you to old people, old places, old jobs, old ideas about self is the overriding idea here. And with, again, the Page of Pentacles in reverse, it feels like whatever this stuff is that's sort of clogging your airways and keeping you small, it's also preventing you from picking up that pentacle, seizing it, stepping forward into some type of new beginning. You have the power within you. You have what you need. You have the resources. But it just feels like there's a sense of maybe imposter syndrome that comes up. And I now see the Six of Wands popping out, and this is a card of success, and I get the feeling that you are going to be very successful. You're probably already very successful in a lot of ways that maybe you just don't quite appreciate because you may be seeing success through a very limited perspective and sort of even clinging on to how other people define success for themselves. And it feels like there's a lot of self-judgment. So again, I'm going to suggest that you engage in regular prayer, maybe perform a cord cutting with people that you feel like connections are holding you back, and with old ideas about self. And definitely like engaging, and that could be through burning, that could be through writing something down and throwing it away. That counts. That is a spiritual practice. That is a valid form of cord cutting. Is there anything else that we need to know for this group? No, they want me to keep it short and simple today, so I'm going to leave it at that. I hope this is helpful. Please do like, comment, subscribe if you got some value from this. And again, you can book a personal reading via the link in the description box. See you soon. Take care. Hi, Group 2. If you chose the Sambucus Tarot and the Black Tourmaline, this is your reading. Welcome. So what I did for Group 1 and what I'll do for you is I'm going to roll my astro dice to get a sense for the overall theme of your reading, and then we'll check out the anchor card here to give us a window into maybe the ritual that would be beneficial for you at this time. So we have Venus, Gemini, and I'm going to re-roll this because it was unclear, and the 9th house. Okay, Venus, Gemini, 9th house. So I feel like some type of spiritual study is in order for you. Maybe you are learning about a spiritual practice, a mystical practice. Maybe this is something that's rooted in pleasure. And I say that because we do have Venus here. It feels like this is maybe a hobby, an exploration, a study. It could even be travel that feels really close to your heart. And it helps to open up your mind and kind of in this expansive, like, awesome, like literal awe way. I feel like you're needing that type of expansion. You're needing to feel like a sense of growth and opportunity, and like maybe understanding that there's more than meets the eye to this world and to the people around you and to yourself. So this could look like soul exploration. This could look like astrology. This could look like bringing in some type of philosophical study into your life would be really beneficial at this time. I started shuffling without speaking to your anchor, so let's get back to this. So your anchor card is Justice. Now, Justice is a Libra card, and it's ultimately about bringing some degree of balance back into, often it's restoring balance, bringing balance, and really focusing on the consequences of our actions, whether those are positive, negative, somewhere in between. And it's interesting that you chose black tourmaline. This is a defensive, protective stone that can help us sort of cleanse out negative energy from our spirit. And so maybe the idea of justice is something that's important to you. Maybe social justice is important to you. Maybe you are studying something related to the justice system, or maybe just the idea of maybe karma is important to you, and it's something that is interesting to you and something that you need to kind of engage in, is taking stock of your own actions and the consequences and sort of payoff, or again, consequences that occur based on the choices that you make. We have the Knight of Coins coming out in reverse. So sometimes this means that there's a lack of commitment or follow through, or we're sort of wavering on our path. Something that we may have committed to in the past doesn't feel like it's it for us anymore, or possibly, because we now have the Five of Wands coming out in reverse, possibly there was some type of conflict that we engaged in that caused us to maybe lose sight of our long-term vision. And I feel like for you, we're going to get to the ritual, but what I'm sensing here is that something about your commitments feels like it's in flux. It feels like you are having trouble maybe kind of seeing the big picture. Maybe you're having trouble kind of bringing joy into your life and feeling a sense of harmony and balance. Maybe your schedule has been disrupted in a significant way lately, or if you're like going to school, maybe that's a lot of people are going back to school as I'm recording this. So maybe you have recently gone back to school or started a new study or something, and there's sort of a disruption to the harmony in your life. And so what specific ritual would be supportive for my group twos? What specific ritual would be supportive for my group twos? The Page of Cups in reverse. I think for you, this is about inner child healing. I think you're needing to restore the joy in your life. You're needing to bring back some magic and some possibility. Again, we had this idea of like needing to feel like there's more to this life than the sort of mundane existence that some of us often find ourselves in. And we have the Eight of Coins coming out upright. So this is you committing to yourself. It's you committing to a project, to a study, to work, but it doesn't feel like it's about work. It feels like it's about spiritual study. So I'm going to suggest that you bring some regular, probably weekly study period into your life that helps you tap into a spiritual study, maybe a philosophy or even a religion. I'm hearing like Buddhism, Taoism, could be really interesting for some of you. Anything else? We have the Chariot coming out in reverse. So that's just a confirmation. They want you to focus on this path. They want you to examine what you've committed yourself to already and question if it's truly bringing you fulfillment or if it truly feels aligned or if you're just doing it because you think you should. We have the Four of Swords here coming up. And so there might be some period of rest that's also needed for you. So prioritizing rest, scheduling rest, allowing yourself to have a more consistent bedtime and maybe a wake up time to give your body the sort of regularity that it needs. But there's Chariot energy here. There's the sense that you are taking off on a path that's going to bring a lot of fulfillment, but you just need to commit to it. I would recommend actually, again, scheduling it, putting it in your calendar. And we now have the King of Swords coming up upright. This is someone who's really discerning, someone who can be kind of cold and aloof and detached, but who also is very thoughtful and someone who makes really smart decisions. And so you might need to kind of bring out the sword and cut out distractions in your life. You might need to set boundaries. The King of Swords can be a very boundaried figure. So I think setting boundaries, especially around your time, cutting out commitments that are not fulfilling to you, that you maybe agreed to because you just thought you should, or you felt some degree of guilt or obligation, and focusing on study, focusing on a spiritual path that speaks to your soul, that has caught your eye, because I think that this is going to open doors for you. I think it's going to help you bring joy back to your life in a big way and help you actually connect to the inner child within, who I get the sense hungers for knowledge and hungers for experiences that sort of like tap into curiosity and wonder. And so that feels important. And I think this experience will bring healing. Okay, that's all I got. I'm going to keep it short today. If this was valuable, please do like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're interested in a personal reading, you can find the link in the description box, and you can go follow me on TikTok for short form videos too at Feeling Loudly. All right, bye group 2. Hi group 3. If you chose the Wild Unknown Tarot and the Rose Quartz Tumbler, this is your reading. So we're going to start with the dice, the Astro dice, to get a sense for the theme, and then I'll speak to your anchor card. So we have the 11th house, Pisces, and the Sun coming out. So you might have strong Pisces placements, you might have a strong 11th house, you might have your Sun in Pisces or your Sun in the 11th. The overall feeling that I'm getting here is that connecting to community and potentially spiritual community is a big deal for you. We have the Six of Pentacles, which is a card of generosity, of giving, sometimes of receiving generously, of getting help from other people. It feels like for you, potentially some type of mutual aid, community service, volunteer work, or just some form of giving back could be helpful. I'm also hearing for some of you community garden or working with your hands, working with the earth, spending time in nature. All of these things could be really grounding for you, and definitely connecting with other people who enjoy the same things and have similar interests. So let's get a little bit more information. You might be someone who identifies as an activist, or someone who has a lot of compassion. So we have the Seven of Cups and we have the World coming out. So with the Seven of Cups, the feeling I'm getting is that actually allowing yourself to daydream more often would be a really lovely ritual for you. Our daydreaming, our ability to kind of do nothing and just allow our minds to wander, to bring in our imagination, all of that feels really important for your soul. So you might want to spend more time in silence. You might want to take time daily, weekly, to just allow yourself to be still, to just see what comes up for you organically. Because I think that most of you, if not all of you, are very creative souls. And part of your creative process means, again, giving yourself the space to dream. With the World here, this is connected to the fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. I feel like for you, I'm going to read this differently than I normally would. I feel like for you, feeling connected to the rest of the world is a big deal. So maybe that means socializing is important. Maybe that means, again, taking part in movements, taking part in collective activities. Maybe this means like collective prayer, even bringing in some type of consistent practice where you're able to either gather literally with people or online with people. The 11th house can relate to our online connections and our online life. But it feels like something important about gathering, about connecting with other people, and doing so from a place of like ritualistic, spiritual intention. So this could be like church for some of you, or this could be like a weekly or a monthly gathering of souls who just care about the same things, who have shared values. Let's get a little bit more information. So we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. It's reiterating sort of the element of help, and specifically physical, like material help that might be offered here. So I'm going to reiterate that mutual aid, volunteer work, helping with aid organizations could be impactful, specifically ones that may help people who are disenfranchised, marginalized groups that are especially impacted at a material level, who face like discrimination. Maybe this is like anti-racism. Maybe this is fighting for people who experience DV. It could be just anything of that kind of nature. And with the Son of Swords coming out, it feels like this is something that helps your mind stay active and curious. I feel like something about connecting with people around shared values and sort of like chewing on ideas and coming up with visions. Maybe that comes from your daydreaming time too. Coming up with visions for the future, and these sort of like really like sweet. They're really sweet. They're not naive. They're not impractical. It's just like a very beautiful vision that you have for the future, for the world. And I think that you need other people to talk about this stuff with, to connect with over. This could even look like you being a part of online groups like Discord servers, or places that really unite around common interests. You may be someone who really likes spending time on Reddit and kind of like seeing what's going on. And so now we have the Five of Cups coming out, which is a card of loss and grief. And then we also have the Lovers. This is a Gemini card. I didn't mention the other signs, but I should. And then we have the 9 or the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. So I feel like you might really advocate for people who've experienced a lot of financial loss, or for people who've experienced some significant material loss. And I do feel like this activates your heart in a big way. Again, if you have strong Pisces placements, Pisces can be a deeply compassionate sign, and a sign that easily accesses universal love and compassion. And so with the Lovers coming out, this is a card often about choice, but often about loving relationships too, and partnership and collaboration. And so I feel like you again, really want other people to be involved in a ritual of yours. That's what helps it to feel fulfilling for you. And with the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, maybe financial struggles are part of your picture too. And so just an aside, potentially doing some type of money magic could be valuable for you. I'm recording this on Friday. I'm wearing my Venus earrings. I think bringing in a Friday ritual that helps you feel connected to the divine and something related to kind of the manifestation of your material desires could be sustaining for you too. It'll help you feel connected. It'll help you boost your magical practices and also help you kind of move further toward your dreams. And so I'm gonna jump back to the Seven of Cups that I mentioned earlier with sort of allowing yourself to daydream. I think visualization is a big thing for you. So maybe the private ritual that you're engaging in is a weekly practice of visualizing the future that you want for yourself and maybe for the world. And that could be related to the material desires that you have for stability, for consistency, for safety, and for comfort. And I think as you bring that ritual into your life, you're going to start to see real and actual changes in your material world, in your material life. All right, that's all I got. We're keeping it short today. If this was helpful, please do like, comment, subscribe, and share it with a friend if you think someone else would be into it. And again, if you're interested in a personal reading, you can find the link in the description. Take care, Group 3. I'll see you soon.